Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to be talking about Gran Turismo 1 for the PS1 and what it did for racing games. Now, in my opinion, I think this was the main car game for car enthusiasts in the 90s. It had the best JDM cars like the R34 GTR or the RX-7 NSX, all those JDM classics. And racing games at this time were a bit different. It was basically you pick a car, you beat the race, you beat the game, and it's over with. With Gran Turismo, it basically puts you in a racer's position. You have to earn a license, then you get to pick out a car. You don't pick out a good car, you have $10,000 you could pick out, I don't know, a Nissan Silvia or an old GTR or something. And like I said, you have to earn a license, then you can start racing. But these license tests are actually pretty difficult for some reason. And then at that point, the more you start racing, the more money you earn, then you can start buying more cars. Then eventually you might just unlock a Supra or an NSX, all those classics. And I apologize for mentioning all these weird car names. These are JDM classics, so these are cars that are made in Japan, and yeah, if you mod them, they can reach over 1,000 horsepower, well, in real life. But in the game, it's basically stock, and you could modify it a little bit. Anyway, though, we could talk about cars another day. Now, the one thing I mainly want to talk about this game is what it did for racing games overall. So when this game dropped, it was automatically a hit. It had all the best cars at the time, and it was a racing game with a different perspective. It actually put you in like a driver's position where you have to earn a license, win races, drive cars, all that. It was a different view compared to most racing games. For example, with Need for Speed, like I said, you just pick a car, win the race, beat the game, it's over with. Well, at least for the PS1 and N64 generation, that is. And with the Gran Turismo, it was actually one of the first games that used the first DualShock controller. It's the PS1 that comes with 2 joysticks. But of course, with what Gran Turismo did for the racing genre, it came with a lot of copycats. Here's a few examples. Yeah, a lot of games try to copy off of Gran Turismo's, style and gameplay, and none of them really did it quite right. Although I will give Forza this, they did have customization. I feel that's the one thing Gran Turismo is missing, but then again, I don't think you necessarily need customization because I feel like it's more about racing than the cars, so I don't know, just my opinion. But yeah, a lot of games try to copy off of Gran Turismo's formula, and to be honest, a lot of games that copy off of Gran Turismo, they kind of had a corny storyline. For example, Juice, you get to customize an RX, say, ooh, and get in a car crash. You know, a lot of them have stupid storylines like that, but I would say those games have more of a fun factor compared to Gran Turismo, because with Gran Turismo, it's more or less a serious game. You have to get your license, do all that. With the games like Juiced and Forza, you get to customize your car, have fun with it, do some races. You know, a lot of them have that fun factor, but they still didn't really accomplish what Gran Turismo did. And another sort of a Gran Turismo type game I want to talk about is Sega GT 2002. Now, this game actually did something quite different compared to Gran Turismo. You got the same basic setup, under license, do races, all that shit. But with this game, let's just say you pick out an old car like, I don't know, a 1980s Nissan or whatever. Of course, with that car being old, it's going to have some problems. You know, like let's just say a muffler comes out of your car during a race. That might affect your speed or something like that. I like that personally. Or let's just say your tire pops during a race. Of course, you know, you're going to be out of the race. And if you're out of the race, or let's just say your car gets totaled, you either get to restart or you don't get to do the race again, similar to real life. I like what that game did with old car parts falling apart during a race. You know, of course you get totaled, all that. But one thing it was lacking is, of course, the gameplay. You know, I like all the small features, but they didn't really nail the driving quite right. And of course, since it released for the OG Xbox, I can't imagine playing a serious racing game with a Duke controller. I can't imagine that. And I love the Xbox for what it is and its 2000s edginess with its epic startup, you know, all that shit. But I can't imagine playing a serious racing game with a Duke controller. I can't. Now, one last point I would like to make is that there's a big difference in racing games compared to the N64 and PS1 era, compared to the PS2, OG Xbox, and GameCube era. You see, the main differences with the PS1 and N64 era, it was a time for simple racing games. You know, it was polygon graphics, bright colors. You know, 3D was just starting to become a thing. So of course, with that, it was simple racing games like Ridge Racer or I don't know, Daytona USA. But compared to the OG Xbox and PS2 was when Need for Speed Underground, Juiced, all those street racing games came out, and I would say that's due to the first Fast and the Furious movie. Now, I'm not saying that movie caused a whole new generation of racing games, but I feel like it had a lot to do with racing games evolving. You see, at that time, it was all about customization, dropping your car, adding tinted windows. You know, if those games released today, it would have camber, it would be dropped, all that shit. But I would say that era of racing games was kind of a huge, I don't know, step up. But when Gran Turismo released for the PS2, I would say it still stayed in its own lane. And looking back on it now, it's not that bad, because if you look at Need for Speed Underground and Juiced, all those games seem cringy today, but Gran Turismo is timeless. So shout out to Gran Turismo for that. Anyway, if you made it this far into the video, I'd really appreciate it if you could like and maybe subscribe, and let me know down in the comments if you ever played Gran Turismo for the PS1, or hell, just tell me if you played any racing games. Just, I don't know, say something down in the comments, and yeah, I guess I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Soul making, sound shaking, earth quaking, change.
Oh my god, why is he black?